In setup, under support settings, there are two options. One is a default case owner, and the other is the automated case user. I've set my default case owner to the integration user in this developer org, and the automated case user to my second user who I've given system administrator privileges to because that was required to be the automated case user. So we're going to do some experiments using these two values, and I've created a case assignment rule with one simple rule entry. We note that we can add multiple rule entries to one assignment rule, and we can only have one assignment rule active at a time. This one says if the type of the case equals mechanical, then assign it to the security user. So we have three different users in play in addition to myself. So here I've documented what I just showed you in the org, and here are our test cases. So if we create a case in the UI, we do not specify that we want an assignment rule, then I would expect that it will show that it was created by me and I am the owner. If I create a case in the UI with a type not equal to mechanical, and I do decide to use an assignment rule, then it's created by me because I'm creating it in the UI. And because it doesn't match the assignment rule, it should go to the default case owner, which is the integration user. Repeating that in the UI still with type equals mechanical, that will meet the case assignment and should go to the security user with still me as the creator. And then if we start creating cases through web to case, just to prove that that will use the assignment rule without us having to specify it as we do in the UI. And we set the type to mechanical, and this may not be a really relevant use case. Maybe end users would not be expected to specify a type like that, but just for demonstration purposes, they could certainly be asked to specify something that would change who they would be assigned to. So in this example, we're doing web to case. We'll set the type to not something other than mechanical, and it will use the assignment rule by default. So I can just put that in parentheses. And in that case, Yasmin will become the created by because the automation is creating the case. And because it's not meeting the assignment rule, it should go to the default case owner, which is the integration user. And finally, if we do web to case, setting the type to mechanical, which would match the assignment rule, then Yasmin, the automated case user, will be the created by, and the security user from the assignment rule will be the owner of the case. So let's see if we can make all of this happen. So our first step is to do it in the UI and not say we want to use an assignment rule. So if I click a new case, and it doesn't matter what I choose for type, I could have done both with and without type equals mechanical, but I think you can see that it doesn't matter either way. Okay, the one field that's required is the case origin, and here's where we would specify whether we want to use the active assignment rule or not. So I'm going to say to save this without using the assignment rule. And then we see that I am both the owner and the created by, which matches our first test case. So next we're going to do it in the UI. We are going to use the assignment rule, but we're not going to set it to mechanical. So we go back to cases, we say new, we set an origin, the type is blank. We do want to use assignment rule this time, but type is not mechanical. So it should run through the assignment rule, not finding anything. It uses the default case owner, which is set here, default case owner integration user. And created by is me because I created it in the UI. So that's a pass. Now, if we repeat that one more time in the UI, specifying mechanical, that will meet the requirements of the assignment rule. I'm going to use the assignment rule and save. And now we got security user as the owner from this assignment rule. The created by is still me. So now we switch to web to case. And I went into web to case and I made sure that it was enabled. So it's turned on. I'm setting the default case origin to web. I'm not requiring reCAPTCHA, but just note that that is an option in web to case. And then I went on to this HTML generator. And here I would include the type field and anything else that I want the users to fill in. I'm going to disable reCAPTCHA, and when I click generate, I get code that looks like, whoops, where did it go? Like this. And I saved that as HTML, a .html file. And when I bring that up in a browser, it looks like this. So the source is being set automatically to web, so it's not even a choice here. So our next test case is to say type equals mechanical. Oops, I had to mark this one as passed. All right, type is not equal to mechanical. Yes, we shall. Let me bring this up fresh and set this to test 6, not mechanical. And test 7, mechanical. Okay, when we look at the right list view, we can see that these test cases have come in, and as expected, test 6 has an owner of integration user, test 7 has an owner of security user, and if I add into fields to display the created by, then we will see that test 6, all of these are the case automation user, Yasmin, because they all came in via web to case, which we see one more time in the screenshot, the automated case user as Yasmin. So that means this one passed and this one passed. So hopefully that is a demonstration of a number of skills, including list view editing and web to case, the default case owner, which is applied to the owner field if the case assignment rule does not find an owner for the case, and is assigned to security user if the requirements of the case assignment rule entry are met. And when we create using the UI, then it's the user who created it, who is created by. And then the owner depends on whether we check the box. And just to demonstrate that one more time, there is an option here to use the active assignment rule, and the users would have to choose that if they want that to happen. So we do that. We could put in to subject test 8. And go to cases. Here's test 8. And it shows up in recently viewed because we created it in the UI. We would need to go to all open cases to see that one is created by me through the UI and went to the security user. because of the case assignment rule. And then when we look at one of these cases that was created via web to case, and we look at the case history related list, we can see 4 entries all happening at the same time, that the case was created by the case automation user, Yasmin, and no value set on creation. Then the status was set to new. The case owner was set to Yasmin temporarily, but then it went through the assignment rules and the owner was changed to the security user. So that is a feature of Salesforce that we were starting out needing to understand, and that led to all of this experimentation and setup. Hope you find this helpful.